Hi everybody, I am S. Ramaswamy, Assistant Professor from the Department of Naval Architecture and Offshore Engineering, Amat University. Today we will discuss about an important and interesting topic, that is ship stability. Everyone may be wondering how a ship floats. It is a very important task or very important concept which you can able to understand. Ship stability is a very vast area which discusses about the fundamentals and concepts, corrections about how a ship floats continuously in the water. So many might of you seen a ship moving in the water and also a ship in the dry dock. When a ship moves in the water, it has to overcome so many difficulties like we overcome in our personal life. A ship has to withstand the various forces arising from the sea, that is external, and also internal from its own weight. That all together today we will discuss about ship stability. Fine. Stability. It is the fundamental property of a vessel to float upright even then it is disturbed by external force. That is what the stability of the ship. How can you define in a simple words? It is the ability of the ship to float upright. A ship will not always float upright. Like when you travel in the vehicle or car in the road, we travel always in an upright position. It goes straight because it is a road, it is a solid foundation is there. But it is not same in the case of a ship, because the ship is moving in the water, floating in the water. Water will not remain calm always. Sea will be always changing its state, sometimes calm, sometimes it will have more waves. According to the property of the sea, the ship has to respond. So, the ship will never go always upright. It has to list or roll or trim to the various states. When a ship disturbed by external force, when the external force is removed, it may be a natural or it may be a artificial. Whenever it is removed, the ship must come back to its original position and float upright. That is the property of a ship. That is what called stability. It is the ability of the ship to float upright, and also it should move. It should not that it should only stay in a one place. It should keep on move. That is what stability. In stability, we can divide it into two. One is transverse stability, another one is longitudinal stability. In this class, we will discuss first about the transverse stability. Transverse stability is a very important concept in the ship's properties. Most of the ships lost its stability, or most of the ship even sink due to loss of transverse stability only. There are less chances of loss of longitudinal stability, that is in case of shipwreck. Otherwise, in case of different weather states like tsunami or in rough weather and all, we can only see there is a loss of transverse stability, but not longitudinal stability. So, transverse stability is very important in a ship's life. This is the cross sectional view of a ship. generally we draw to discuss about the ship. This is the center line of the ship. This is the center line of the ship. For a ship to float upright, there are two basic forces are there. Like in our normal life or in our body, when you are standing, when I am standing like this, there are two forces are there. One is my weight, along with the weight, the gravitational forces acting downward, and the reaction force. When these two forces are balanced, then only I can stand. When a man fall down, it means that there is a difference in this reaction of these two forces. Okay. Same way, in a ship there are two basic forces are there. One is buoyancy force, which refers as BF. Another one is weight force, that is the weight of the ship. BF is the buoyancy of the ship. What is buoyancy? Buoyancy is the upthrust given by the water for the ship to float. When any object floats in a water, it experiences an upthrust. That only makes that object to float. How a object will float or how other object will sink, density matters. Density is a important concept in which makes the object either to float or to sink. When the density of the floating object is less than the density of the water in which the ship is floating, then the ship will float. If the density of the object in which it is floating in the water, in which it is floating, if it is more, the density of the object is more, then that object will sink. That is the concept which you may be studied in the Archimedes principle. The same principle is applied here. Here two forces are acting, one buoyancy force, another weight force. The buoyancy force acts upward, the weight force acts downward. And one more important thing here you have to notice is that this center line. These two forces must always act in the same line, that is center line. This is the center line, and these two forces must act opposite, and also the minimum requirement is that the magnitude of these two forces must be equal, then only a vessel will float. Okay. Now, we are discussing or telling that floating of a vessel. If I want to add some load to a floating vessel, what should be the state or what should be the condition? In that case, the buoyancy force must be greater than the weight force, then only you can load a vessel. If both are equal, it is merely floating in the water. When you add a load into the vessel, it will start sink because the density will increase. So, always it should be understood that the weight force should be less than the buoyancy force, then only the ship you can add more and more load. Fine. Next one, what is this G and what is this B? This G is always the center of gravity of the ship. We all know what is center of gravity of the ship. This G is the center of gravity of the ship, and this B is the center of buoyancy of the ship. This place, this G center of gravity, this B center of buoyancy plays an important role in maintaining the stability of the ship. We may say that any game you take, any game there is a trump is there, trump card. For example, you take a playing cards, there is a trump cards or jokers are there, which decides the game. Same way, these two, that is center of gravity and center of buoyancy, are the two main components which decides whether the ship will float or sink. It is very interesting to know that how does it work. The center of gravity, we know that it always acts downward through the body of the ship, that is center line. Same way, center of buoyancy, most of you may not be knowing what is the definition, what do you mean by center of buoyancy. Why? Because center of gravity you already studied, it is a quite common, it is a point through which all the forces are assumed to be act downward, it is an imaginary point. Center of buoyancy is also similar to that only, but it is opposite, it is opposite. What is center of buoyancy? Center of gravity is related to the mass of the ship. Center of gravity is related to the mass of the ship. When the mass of the ship changes, the center of gravity will obviously change. Whereas center of buoyancy is related to the underwater volume. What is underwater volume? Underwater volume is the volume of the ship below waterline. Underwater volume is the volume of the ship below waterline. That underwater volume also will have a center of gravity. That underwater volume will also have a center of gravity. That center of gravity is called center of buoyancy. That center of gravity is called center of buoyancy. So, the center of buoyancy and center of gravity must lie in the same line. Center of gravity and center of buoyancy must lie in the same line. These all are the golden rules. These all are the golden rules for a transverse stability of the ship, so that the ship floats upright. Out of these two, if any one changes its position, then the ship will not remain upright. It may be listed or it may be heeled. What is list? What is heel? By definition both are same. By definition both are same. Heel and list is the transverse inclination of the ship. But what is the difference? The difference is that the cause which makes the ship to incline transversely, that decides whether it is list or whether it is heel. List is due to the movement of the mass inside the ship, that is called list. If you move the weight from port side to starboard side in a ship, then the ship will incline transversely, that is called list. When you move a mass from here to here, then the ship will incline, that is called list. That is due to internal factor, and also there are some external factors are also there. There are some external factors are also there. For example, like wind, like waves. When this comes across the ship will incline transversely, that is called heel. In that case, when the external forces are relieved, automatically the ship will come back to its original position. If it happens, that is what the transverse stability, or the ship is intact, the ship is stable. Then only we can say the ship will be safe. If external force, after the removal of external force, if still the ship is not coming back to upright position, then there is a problem in any of these two components. Any of these two components, either gravity, center of gravity of the ship, or center of buoyancy of the ship. And there is one beautiful relation between this center of gravity and center of buoyancy. What is that? You must always keep in mind, it is a very basic and essential components for you to proceed further in the subject of stability. Whenever there is a change in mass, of the ship, the change in mass of the ship can happen under three conditions. One is addition of weight, second removal of weight, third distribution or movement of the mass inside the ship. In all these three cases, there is going to be change in center of gravity of the ship. If this thing happens, definitely the center of buoyancy also will change, because center of buoyancy depends upon center of gravity. If center of gravity changes, center of buoyancy will definitely change, there is no doubt about it. Now come to the second version, that is, if center of buoyancy changes, what will happen? If center of buoyancy changes, what will happen? This center of buoyancy, as I told, it is nothing but the center of gravity of underwater volume. When center of buoyancy changes, it does not mean that center of gravity will also change. It may change, it may not change. Please keep it in mind. If center of buoyancy changes, the center of gravity may change, may not change, depends upon the situation. So, this is the relation between center of gravity and center of buoyancy. Now, let us go to the next concept of transverse stability. This is what we have discussed about right now. G, center of gravity, B, center of buoyancy, WF, weight force, BF, buoyancy force. We will see the next slide. What is transverse statical stability? As I told you in the introduction, it is nothing but is a term used to describe the ability of a ship to return to the upright when it has been forcibly heeled by an external force to some angle and is momentarily at rest in still water. This is what statical stability or transverse stability, what we have discussed and what we are going to see in continuation with respect to the next slide. What is G? It is the relative position of the center of gravity and the center of buoyancy as the ship is heeled to a particular angle that determines how stable a ship is. So, that is what I just told you now, how important is G and B and what is the relation between G and B. When the ship is upright, the lines of action of both the forces, water force and the weight force and the buoyancy force, act through the points G and B as shown. If the ship is heeled by external force, as I told you, the difference between heel and list. When you say heeled means it is due to external force only, like wind and waves. When it is heeled by an external force to some angle, the relative position of G and B will change, causing the line of action of weight force and buoyancy force to be horizontally separated. Now, you can see from the diagram, the center of gravity and center of buoyancy no more lies in the same line. It has been separated. It has been separated. You can see now here. This is the new center of buoyancy. It is the new center of buoyancy through which the buoyancy acts, and this is the G. This is the G, you can see where it has not changed, only the B has changed. This you can further understand in the next slide. Now, it is clear to you. Here you see this is the G which is still lying in the same center line, the weight force acting downward, whereas the buoyancy is now shifted from the center line. The buoyancy has now, the center of buoyancy has now shifted from the center line which is acting upward. Now, this is the water line, this is the water line and this is the underwater area, this is the underwater area. Now, the question is that why buoyancy, center of buoyancy only shifted and center of gravity does not shift? It is a very important question, but it is a very fundamental question. I already told you that the center of gravity depends upon the mass of the ship, whereas the center of buoyancy depends upon the underwater volume of the ship. When the mass of the ship changes, obviously center of gravity will change. When the underwater volume changes, the center of buoyancy will change. Here the underwater volume is changed. Here the underwater volume is only the underwater volume is changed. That is why the buoyancy, center of buoyancy is shifted. With respect to the center line, if you see with respect to the center line, the volume on port side, underwater volume on port side is less, the underwater volume on starboard side is more. So, obviously the center of gravity will shift towards the volume where the volume is more. That is why the center of buoyancy has shifted from center line to the starboard side, and it is acting upward, Now, there is a distance created between center of gravity and center of buoyancy. There is a distance created from center of gravity and center of buoyancy. Now, let us see what will happen due to this, whether the ship will come back or it will stay or it will further incline or sink. Now, the horizontal separation of the line of action of weight force and the buoyancy force is such that a righting lever is now created. Now, this distance is nothing but which we denote as GZ, which is called a righting lever. Lever you know, but what do you mean by righting lever? Righting lever is the one which is going to save the ship. That is why you are calling it as a righting lever, because there is another lever is there, capsizing lever. Capsizing lever also will arrive, it depends upon same the relation between G and B. In this case, we say this stability, this lever is positive, this is a positive quadrant, as we discussed in the graph sheet, as we already studied in the mathematics. This is a positive quadrant. When the lever is falls, when the distance falls in the positive quadrant, it is a positive thing. That is why we call it as a righting lever. This lever will only save the ship now. Let us see how. Why? Because this is being told as righting lever, it will bring the ship back to its upright position. That we will see in the next slide. These all are the various positions of the transverse position or transverse stability of the ship. Now, you look at this picture 1. This is a ship floating upright. This is a ship floating upright, and this is the center line where the green one buoyancy force and the red one center of gravity, gravitational force, that is weight force, both are acting in the same line. As I told you in the previous slide, both are acting in the same line, and also it is acting opposite. That means it is a stable and upright. See, we cannot distinguish between, if a ship is stable, it should be always upright. Not like that. It is not a conditional that. It can be inclined also. Then also the ship will be stable. That can be witnessed by this sketch. Now, look at this diagram. This is what we are now just discussed in the previous slide. Now, due to the external force, the center of buoyancy has shifted and it is acting upward, and there is a lever created between these two forces, which is we called as righting lever GZ. So, this is a lever. Since this is starboard side, this is port side. Okay. Now, or you can say this is a positive quadrant, this is a negative quadrant. If you see the graph of a mathematics, this is a positive and this is a negative. In this case, now the ship will come back to its upright position. The ship will come back. That we will discuss in the next coming chapter. Now, refer to this diagram. Here, the lever is keep on increasing. The value of the righting lever is keep on increasing. After a particular angle of heel, if the ship further heels, now you see the righting lever is reducing. It will reduce. Further healing of the ship, this lever may come to this side. Further healing of the ship, this lever may come to this side, which I told you it is opposite to righting lever. This lever will make the ship to capsize. That we will discuss in the next slide. Now look, righting movement. What is this righting movement? Movement is the force which makes the ship to come to upright position when it is heeled by an external force. It is a movement. It is the one which brings back the ship. What is the movement? Force into distance. Movement is what? Force into distance. Here what is the force? Displacement of the ship. What is displacement? Mass of the ship. That is the force here. What is Gz? Gz is the distance which we saw, this one, righting lever. Gz is the distance, righting lever, and force is the weight force, that is nothing but the mass of the ship, which results from the buoyancy force which is equal to the ship's displacement acting on the end of the lever Gz, which pivots about G. This B1 is the new position of center of buoyancy. Now, this is a mechanism which is used to bring the ship back to its upright or initial position, that is what called righting movement. This is the mechanism, this is the concept which makes the ship float upright whenever it is disturbed by an external force, that is ship is heeled. So, next we will discuss about further about the heeling or listing of the ship from the next slide. In continuation with this, you must become one more familiar term you must know, that is metacenter. What is metacenter? It is also an important point in case of the stability of the ship. Metacenter you might have already studied in the physics, but how it works practically in a ship you will see, and you will not, you also will be surprised how it plays an important role. First let us see what is a metacenter. Now, this diagram we have seen, it is a transverse section of the ship, and we have seen what is G, what is B, and what is Z. Now, you see this is the water line. When the ship is inclined, that is heeled due to the external force, we saw the center of buoyancy shifts from B to B1 and it is acting upward. When it acts upward, if you draw a straight line through that, the center of buoyancy line will intersect with the center line of the ship. This is the center line, and this is the vertical line drawn through the new center of buoyancy. When these two lines intersects, it will get a point. We will get a point of intersection, that is called metacenter. This metacenter is also very vital concept in the stability of the ship. Why? Because you can see the G and this M, this GM, already we saw GZ, that is righting lever. Same way this GM is also very important in the stability of the ship. Like how we decide whether the ship will float or sink, or it will float upright or it will incline, this has a sense on this GM. GM is called metacentric height. GM is called metacentric height. It is GM, we will discuss about metacenter, is defined as the point of intersection of the lines of action of buoyancy force when the ship is in the initial upright condition and subsequently heeled conditions. It only applies to a small angle of heel. This concept of this stability applies for a small angle of heel. When the angle of heel increases more than say 10 or 15 degree, the concept will vary. That we will discuss in the next topic. Now, next we will discuss about the next step of this stability from the next slide. Okay, as I told you, metacentric height GM is the vertical distance between the ship's center of gravity and the metacenter. The GM is very important in determining the initial stability of the ship, that is the stability of the ship at small angle of heels. So, the metacentric height GM, like GZ, the righting lever. Next one is metacentric height. It is also equally important, which decides the stability of the ship. As far as I concerned, I hope you would have understood what are the basic things we saw about the stability of the ship. If it is very difficult to understand, you can again go through the slide, whatever the material I give, it will be very easy. it will also clear your doubts. Further proceeding in this topic, next class we will discuss about the various states of equilibrium which is related to the metacentric height and ship center of gravity and center of buoyancy and righting lever. Next class we will discuss about what are the various states of equilibrium, how it makes the ship to float as upright or inclined or it capsizes the ship. Thank you.